Hey, what's up? I'm Michael. I have been asked a question about a camera, and I wanted to make a video to answer it. If you watch my video from earlier today, you'll see that I've got my stuff ready to go downstairs, and my whole wall will be cleaned out then the way I want it. But anyway, let me get to the camera question. I had several people over the last few weeks ask me about the videos that I do and stuff, and about my photography and stuff. I made several do-it-yourself and other videos about cameras and stuff, but they asked me several questions and I wanted to address those as fast as I could. One, when you buy a DSLR camera, now it's not going to be exactly like this because I don't have the covers on it, but it'll come as a body. It'll have a cover over this. You do not want to leave that cover off very long. I really don't even want to do it this way. So you take the cover off the back of your lens, and as you can see, that lens has a white dot. You'll see there's a white dot and a red dot on the camera, and you line up the white or the red dot, whatever's on your camera, and then you just twist it and it'll lock into place, and that's how you put your lens on. It's easy. The next thing is, I don't have the battery door on, but this is the battery compartment, and what you would do is you just take your battery after you charge it up, and you look down in there to find which way that part of it sticks out, and when you find it, you just take it in that direction and shove it in there, and it'll lock into place. Some of the older ones lock in a different way, and they're not as easy. Now, one question I was asked was how to extend your battery life, because a lot of people say, hey, the batteries just don't last as long as they need to. Well, I have two solutions for that, and there's a solution for photography, and then there's somewhat of a video solution, and then there's the other solution, I guess you could say. So the photography and the somewhat video is the same thing, but anyway, on the camera here, there's a little door. You probably can't even see it on the camera, but there's a little flap, and what that flap does is it allows you to put an AC adapter in the camera. You put the AC adapters, most of them for the Canon cameras, the newer ones at least, they look like a battery, and they just pop into the battery slot, and the cord for it comes out, and you put the door up or shut the door, whatever you need to. Okay, so that's, if you don't have a battery grip, that's how you install it into here, into just a regular camera body. So I'm going to take this out and show you something else. This is a vertical battery grip, and it has two uses. Basically, you have a double battery life as long as you keep the vertical part cut off. Some of them don't have an off switch from what I've seen, so they use more battery, but I'll explain why that is in just a second. This is the tray for it, and it just fits right in there, and then this will twist shut. One thing you have to look out for is some of these, as you can see, the little door here is not, this one doesn't flop open. I had to take this complete face off, and I replaced the entire part here with the one that it comes with, also another tray that can accept 6 AA batteries. So I used that one and just put the face on here, and that one flops open, this one doesn't. If you actually go in a store and see one that you want to buy, I would get the ones that these lock into place instead of just being able to pull them down, because eventually when you pull this one down enough, it is going to get loose and start falling. About the only thing you can do then is to take a piece of black electrical tape and just tape across the front. Now, if you have just one battery, I'm trying to get it to where you can actually see it, but if you have just one battery, then you'll put it in here where it's got the one battery, and if you have two, you'll put it here. So the second one there. Also, if you have an AC adapter, you'll take and you'll put it in the one spot, and they just snap in like that. If it's just the AC adapter, you put it in just that spot and stick it in there. If it's two, then you've got that. Okay, so all you do to put this on, you make sure that you pull this door down and untwist it, and you stick that in there and close it, and it's locked in. Now, the reason this is called a vertical battery grip is because on the back of it there's an on-off switch, and when you cut it to on, you can take this, if you can see, there's actually 3 or 4 buttons extra here. There's the wheel there, there's the shoot button, then there's the AV, and then 2 other buttons as well on the back there. And I'll show you how you use that. If you're shooting normal with this camera, my hands are much bigger than the camera, and you can see this is the normal method that you would use. If you're going to be shooting vertical or portrait, then it's like this. So as you can see, that's kind of uncomfortable to do. That's a lot more comfortable to do. However, with a vertical battery grip, it makes everything a lot better. What you do, you just take this part of the battery grip that sticks out, and some of them are like this, not all of them, most of the Canons are. So anyway, you take that, slide it in there, and there's a screw part here, and you want to use one finger on the front and your thumb on the back. After you get it going in there good, just thumb it in to start with, and it'll screw it in there. You turn it to the right instead of the left, but once it starts getting tight, use one finger on the front and your thumb on the back, and you just tighten it up, and it'll be in there really good and it won't come out. So you can take the battery out with it in there, or you can leave it out and then put it in there. You don't have to take this back off of your body. The battery grips, usually this little bitty thing right here is a sliding door, and that is the compartment for your AC adapter cord. So that will just stick through there, and you should put that, when you're putting this in, make sure that you get that cord in there, or you'll cut your cord in half probably. Now, what I was going to show you about the vertical mount, or the vertical grip part, is, first off, as you can see with this, my fingers actually fit on the camera body now, and it's much easier to actually take a picture for me. It's just, I have more control over it. I can handle it a lot better. If I cut the on switch to on, or cut the switch to on, then I can use these buttons, and instead of doing it this way, I can sit here and take portrait pictures all day long like that. It just allows you to keep your hand in the same place. Also, something this allows for, if you're going to be doing portrait orientated pictures or photos all day or more often, than landscape. You can take your neck piece here and you can actually put it in this part down here instead of having it go across here, and it makes it pretty easy to do the portrait oriented photos. So that's how you go about putting your battery grip in, and the battery grip will double the life of the camera as long as you leave the vertical switch off. If you cut it on, it powers the battery grip, it powers the buttons on it, so it's like maybe instead of twice as long, maybe 1.9 times as long of a battery life. So it's still a lot longer than just one battery. And I think that's about it for how to extend your battery life. If you're going to be doing videos, make sure if it's one of the older cameras that if it's a Canon, you need the USM lenses. If it's a T4i or newer, you will need the STM lenses, because when they autofocus, they make a lot of sounds like a transformer transforming. So that's the only bad part about having just a regular lens with one of the cameras, is that they don't have the silent motors on them, unless you get those more expensive ones. But anyway, that's pretty much everything about that.